there, this is Kat with CBC, Courageous Business Connect, and we are back at Travelers again, and we're with one of our members, Sheila Botwell, and Sheila has an amazing service that I just can't wait for you to hear about. So Sheila, tell us about your business and what you got going on.
Well, I'm not sure exactly where to start, so I'm going to start at the beginning because I'm a mama. And I don't really know a lot about our business, but I do know a lot about being a mama. So, a long time ago, my son got in trouble. He ended up having to go to prison for a very short little stint. When he came out of prison, he had all kinds of problems trying to get a job, trying to get back into like mainstream society, because every single thing he did, they said, have you ever been to prison? And of course he had to say yes, and then that would eliminate him. Well, fast forward several years, he met a man who was also in prison and had started a temp agency. He got Jeremy a temporary job. That job turned into a full-time position, which turned into a management position, which he was working his way right up into this international company. It was fantastic. But what he really wanted to do was give other people that same opportunity.
Right.
Well, the company that he worked for wasn't set up to do that. It was too big. And so he came to my husband and I and said, you know, I have the education in motorcycle mechanics. I want to make a shop that could teach other people who've had problems like mine or have lost jobs because of drug and alcohol issues or whatever. I want to teach them how to be mechanics, and then I want to go help them find that job. And we went, that sounds like a good idea. Now, I have to qualify this. My husband and I said, that sounds like a good idea, but we don't ride motorcycles. Right. We don't know anything about this business whatsoever. So we said, well, Jared, sounds good. We come back from Wichita, where he lived at the time, and looked at a couple of shops and looked at some property and said, you know, I think he could make this work. I think if we help him, it could work. So Paragon Sports was born because of the nature of the business. We've gotten lots and lots of advice and lots of input and hired business consultants, and we want to make it really successful. But what we really, really, really want is to make a difference.
That's awesome.
Well, making a difference doesn't always work with a business plan.
That is so true.
That's a heart plan, not a business plan.
Uh-huh.
So, lo and behold, there is a business plan that was made for people like us. It's called a social enterprise.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
So, like Tom's Shoes is a social enterprise.
Right.
Because their main mission is to give shoes away. But to do that, they have to sell shoes, right? So they've got a foundation side or a not-for-profit side. They've got a for-profit side, the side that sells the shoes at the shoe stores that are so great. And when they merge it all together, it's a social enterprise. So that's what we did. We followed their lead. So we've got a foundation. It's called Dirty Hands. Get it?
I like it.
Dirty Hands.
Dirty Hands.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like people who've had their hands dirty are now getting their hands dirty to learn a real trade, mechanics.
That is so awesome.
Awesome. So we're inviting people to get their hands dirty with us through the foundation, which is a 100% not-for-profit foundation. They're supporting those students that we will be having, those interns, at the Paragon Sports side. So as they're going through this 2-year program, they don't pay us anything. There is no tuition involved. This is free education.
Which is awesome, especially if they're just right out of prison. You know, they have no money.
Right.
They have no way of getting an apartment, getting back with their family and taking care of their family. So this is an awesome opportunity for them to get paid and learn.
Absolutely. So we pay them a salary because it's like on-the-job training. It is 100% a live shop environment. So people can help us in a couple of different ways. The very first way is through the foundation. We'll be doing some fundraising events and rides, some fun stuff that you can get involved in. You can actually sponsor one of our interns going through and help sponsor them going through this program. All of those things that you were talking about that they need, all of that. Then also you can tell us names. If you've got a person that you know really, really wants to change, someone who would succeed as a mechanic, who has a family or has goals, and they really messed up. Maybe they didn't go to prison. Maybe they lost their job because of alcoholism or a drug problem. Or maybe they've come back from the military and they're dealing with, PTSD, and they just can't figure out how to reintegrate into regular civilian life.
Right.
Anything that puts them at risk of it being employable, we can help with that if they're interested in some type of power sport mechanics, because we're not just motorcycles. We do jet skis and four-wheelers and ATVs and UTVs and all of the other power sports equipment. We can even do a lawnmower.
That is awesome, because there's not a whole lot of people that work on lawnmowers and those kind of things. I know that some of our other CBC members have actually used you.
Yes.
And they have been bragging all over about it. And so we are so excited for all of that.
Yes. Well, we bought property out in Nixa. It's at, what is the address? 395 West Tracker Road. The shop is almost done. It'll have a showroom in the front, so we'll have some retail stuff. And then, of course, it'll have several bays. We also have a pop-up shop. The pop-up shop is so fun. It is this huge, 30-foot trailer. It's all been reskinned. It's got logos. The inside of it is just like one of the bays in our shop.
Oh, wow.
And so this week, actually this evening, they're taking it for our first big event. They've taken it out to a few little ones, a couple of little bike night things.
Right.
But it wasn't completed when they did that. Now it's complete. So this is like our debut big event. And we are going to be the premier vendor for Lake of the Ozarks Bike Fest. So Jeremy will be up there. He's going to be changing tires, changing oil. We'll have a bunch of merchandise. It's going to be really fun.
I am so excited about all this. Everywhere I go, I've been sharing about what you're doing with people, because I just think it is so amazing and so exciting. So if you have any of those small engines, if you ride with a bunch of other bike people, please check them out. They are having a great cause, but they're very affordable and they do great work. Again, I know a lot of people have been just bragging on them and what they can do. So thank you for being part of CBC.
Thanks.
And we are just looking forward to all of the stuff that's going to happen in the future and watching you grow. So thank you very much, Sheila.
Thanks so much for having me.